Hey, all you cool cats and gamers! Welcome to Victory Lap, the GDQ hotfix show that showcases new world record and personal best runs and the runners who made them happen. I'm your host, Nuclear, and with me tonight is Reed Cutie to showcase their new personal best run of Super Mario Sunshine, any percent. But before we get started, we do have a couple announcements. AGDQ 2023 online prize submissions are open from now until December 30th. Go to GameStoneQuick.com for more information. Also, the schedule for Frost Fatales 2023 will be released on December 21st. View the submissions at submissions.framefatales.com and let us know what you're hoping to see on the schedule. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Reed to introduce themselves and let us know what we've got in store tonight. Take it away, Reed.
Hi, I'm Reed. I run Super Mario Sunshine for the Nintendo GameCube. Very cool run. I'm actually very excited to be on here to talk about some of this stuff because normally when you're doing a run, you can't really say what you want to say. So I think it'll be a cool experience. All right, so I'm just going to start now if that's cool.
It's over.
Yeah,
It's over.
go ahead.
All right.
I'm getting world record. I got quick kill.
So
I'm getting world record.
So before I get this question, the reason why we start with the timer at 5:40 is because there's a new method called act file to start the game, and that allows us to skip to the first 3 cutscenes of the game, which saves it doesn't save on the run because we add the time to the splits, but it saves real time for us human beings, like roughly 3 minutes 20 seconds. There are other methods like Peach File, which only skips the first 2 tutorial, but you have to watch the cutscene. And then the other method is you having to just, play the game without any, cutscene skips, which is also fine. It's just normal airship movement. Get across, get flood, skip the cutscenes like I mentioned earlier. This right here is a very precise angle. It's very hard once you're first learning it. You gotta see my controller display down there. You gotta very down left, but slightly more left, and Mario would hold just go in that perfect line just to shoot the piranha plant. It's pretty hard once you're first starting out, but becomes second nature. And pretty simple. You just spray him 3 times and you get the shine sprite. Cool thing about this piranha plant is that you can just spray him nonstop without him flinching. All the other piranha plants flinch if you don't spray them on time, or if you spray them too early.
Mix my N64 controller with red and black. That sounds fire. Red and black is actually not a bad record.
Got the shine.
Maybe.
Where we skip the cutscenes.
Nah, I don't think I'm definitely not warmed up for world record right now. But I can definitely get high 113, low 114. I know I'm capable.
Boy, was I right?
DB's literally almost 2 years old, and I've been playing on and off. And every time
No objection.
I definitely get
Yeah, no, we skipped that. That's probably the only con, but yeah.
Yeah, that is the worst part of those cutscenes being.
I agree.
of that because my DB's literally.
So the movement here is very peculiar. You do a buffer spin input, which requires you to rotate your control stick before Mario touches the ground. Then it'll buffer that input, and then the moment you press A on the ground, Mario will do a spin jump, and then we hover, dive, do it again, and jump Y-cam.
Playing in that time.
It's a lot in a short time, but it saves 0.5 or something like that. Again, another piranha boss fight. Spray 3 times. You advance. Nothing too crazy. Mario just zooming.
My goal today is try to at least get a PB. For record by the end of the day, bro.
It's crazy how much I foreshadowed getting a PB this VOD. Because at the beginning of the VOD, I just changed my controller, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm PBing a world recording today, and then I actually just PB. It was all a joke, but it actually came true. So
I found
Like, don't
having
get me wrong.
watching so many of
I
these
think
on
I
the
am
show
capable of world
that
record,
the
but
runner
I'm
either in the
not- but
beginning
that's,
it's
like,
something
only
like
at my
that where they're
peak,
like, oh
and I'm
yeah,
not at
this
my
is it, I
peak.
can feel it.
Yeah.
Or it's the opposite where they're like, this run, this is not it, this run's not it.
No, no, not yet, Brock. But maybe soon.
My peak,
Also
and I'm not at
here,
my peak.
here it's called quick kill. Essentially,
That's awesome.
before we do our inputs, which is the R and A input, which allows Mario to spam spray towards the ground because he's like sliding. So his floods water will hit the ground, and all that water hits Shadow Mario, as you can see right there, and it just completely like takes a lot of like HP away from him. You can do it where he like just dies instantly. He doesn't walk at all. I kind of got a bad one, but I backed it up pretty well. Do I get early M here? I do not. But if you perfectly time a smash right there, you can get early M and the M will be activated and you don't have to spray it there and lose like 0.3 or
There's a lot
something.
of goals I'm purposely not doing, but there's a lot of strats that I have not purposely updated because I'm too lazy to actually go and like do that, like update
Still
my
true.
strats. And I don't know. I feel I don't need it right now. I don't need my SOB to be lower to yeah. But yeah, by like another 20 seconds. So then
Appreciate that shout out.
pretty much it for me in terms of SOB.
This spider. This spider is a real menace. Why? Why is it a menace? Well, it's random where it spawns. So, when we get here, it could either be gone, as in despawn, which is not intentional by the game, or just in such a spot where you lose so much time where it's just honestly maybe not worth it to continue to run. So it'll always spawn in this general area, but it can sometimes just like go far left of where this current camera is at and just despawn from there. Because if this spider touches land and like tries to move 3 times, it'll just go poof and then your run's dead and then you have to reset. And that really didn't sit well with just playing the game normally without hack file, the peach file, like without skipping the cutscenes, because that's not in the player's control. They had to reset because the game disagreed, essentially. And
That's
yeah,
awful.
Yeah,
That makes it even more understanding why there is that like skipping the cutscenes
Yeah.
now. Just yeah.
that in combination with Shadow Mario Quick Kill, because that is pretty hard. And if you like truly mess that up, you lose like 20 seconds. So it's just kind of like, and then there's a lot of beginning stuff that's just not fair. And this is only the start. This is only the start. There is much
Would
more.
you say
Holding
that
myself back.
happens often enough that spider like despawns, or is that very rare?
I would say it's rare, but not like that rare. I've been playing this game for 5 years, and I've only had it happen like 10, 15 times throughout the 5 years I've been playing. So it's pretty rare, I guess.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
nonetheless annoying.
It happens though, yeah.
Yeah. But
I've only been just
also, these inputs, this is like probably my favorite movement out of the whole entire game. We call these windmill wall kicks because you're just kicking up the windmill quick. It's just a spin input, like rapidly. We Y turn Y cam here by pressing the Y button. So Mario can go into first person, and then we just wall jump up.
I've only been
It looks
just
pretty
spamming
cool.
runs and trying
Yeah,
to,
I'd say
see if I can
medium rare.
cheese in a PB real quick.
Something like that. PD screaming. I still understand. I still don't understand how PD's voice, like the loudness of this,
I think I'm
just
the
kind
fourth
of
SSOB right now, 4th or 5th.
breaks a wood. Like, isn't that supposed to be glass or something that breaks if it's like a high frequency?
Which is like a while ago.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's like wood.
Yeah, it's
He's
not.
breaking through there.
So this boss right here, it's kind of just. So what we're doing is we're backflipping, so we get to the same height as PD, and then as soon as we're at the same height, we just kind of spam R and A, which allows Mario to spam spray. is the little shotgun sprays that he do. And we do that repeatedly, and it just kind of, you know, feels speeded up quickly.
From your PB is good, and you can
And you just do that about 3 times, and the boss is pretty much over.
That's why, like, I think I can get, you know, what I can get, which is.
And we just kind of wait for the shine to spawn. There's actually a visual cue here that I made like a year ago, so where you can like ground pound the shine instantly. So like this little spot right here, I look at this first, a little spot, and then once that spot disappears, because that's the signal to pump, hover, and double jump, what I'm doing right now. And then once that spot disappears, I look at this one right here to know when to ground pound, to press my L press. So you can see that I'm looking at it and I get it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
super interesting. Yeah, I would have never known that.
Yeah. And people have been using it. It's really good.
That's so
Suck at
cool.
everyone.
Yeah.
Suck at everybody.
You start noticing that like when you just play the game too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We entered the you know, nothing crazy here.
Yeah, I'm the 5th best, and I'm 3 minutes and 5 seconds off my PB. My SOB is.
So this little CD pod, the blue thing that dances, that thing is actually RNG, whether it hits you or not. It's not run ending, but you lose 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, because the game didn't want you to, you know, go fast. Just a little fun fact.
So that's a big gap. I'm the only.
There's a lot of
I'm the only.
there is a lot of RNG in this game that not a lot of people know about. Like, people just think, you know, Bianca 5, Pianta 5. No, Flood's water that comes out of his jetpack, that's RNG. That's random. Where the particles go, and that can affect like whether if you start a hover slide or not. So be wary of that. Also, the first secret level,
Like that's how like old and bad my PB is.
it's pretty straightforward, quite literally. You just kind of, even the normal strat, you kind of just hold forward and just jump. I do a little bit of an advanced strat, which requires a lot of fancy inputs and practice. But, you know, easy, nothing crazy.
I feel like then that
Shine
is-
get.
It looks
That is
so
for me.
clean though, just going straight through like that.
It does, yeah, it does.
Yeah. You shouldn't let your
Like all the secret levels are pretty much like eye candy. It's super satisfying to watch. Like honestly, even if it's not a secret level, watching Mario just zoom around, it's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
calm down.
It's, I feel like this game with Flood really lends itself to some really cool movement.
Yeah.
Even if it feels impossible.
100% agree. Like
There's always
when this game first came out, people were like, "Oh, there's no long jumping, there's no punching, like, you know."
still there.
I'm like, honestly, I think Flood kind of really just
You just gotta be dedicated.
it's like it's a substitute for all that, because once you
Yeah.
master like Flood,
And right now,
the game becomes way more enjoyable in terms of moving Mario around.
happening, but at a very slow
Also, this right here is travel skip. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm defeating the piranha plant, and I'm going back inside Bianco Hills, which saves like 12, 13 seconds, something like
make
that.
that growth happen.
Um,
And right now I'm like half dedicated to
after you hit the last hit, you gotta hold a very certain angle so you won't bonk into the little fence there, and that you slip between the building and you know, you just hold forward and go into the and it skips the travel needed back to Bianco Hills, which is 12, 13 seconds roughly.
and that was like months ago.
I mean, and that's why it's called travel skip. Yeah, I agree. Like, Flood really makes Mario like Mario on its own. He's kind of not. He just jump dives and spin jumps.
Almost at the beginning of this
But
year.
with Flood in combination with Mario's moveset in this game is
And
amazing.
it only took me like a good like 10 minutes actually, like or less to like figure
Also,
out
this is
how
the
to
first
actually
red coin shines in this game are always movement heavy.
And I'm good at movement, so it's like it wasn't impossible.
Like it's always just a joy to watch. It's I don't even know what to say about it other than enjoy. It's just like there's a lot of things going on here that I could probably explain. So let me go back to the beginning here.
I'd say almost at the beginning.
Also, I don't think I've ever explained this, but the things that I do at the beginning of the levels are called hover slides, and that allows Mario to go into a dive state after you tap hover with the hover nozzle out. So like right here, I'm spraying to make Flood wake up because you can't hover slide when Flood is asleep, like turned around on your back. So I spray here to wake him up, and then I switch to hover nozzle quickly so I could, activate pumping like the hover. And then a frame after I pump hover, I dive, and that would make Mario instantly just zoom off like that.
Of this year, roughly.
And that was a pretty perfect hover slide. There was no frames of
It took me like
Mario walking or anything.
Actually, or less to like figure out how to actually
Rollouts.
because it was just movement. And
The first spin jump.
So like it wasn't impossible. I just had.
I pump hover here. The reason why this looks so fast is because I actually pump hover here, which makes you grab the coin a little faster. But the travel to the 6th coin is actually a little slower, but you can manage it to where it's a little fast. And right here is a buffer spin jump. So right here, I buffer a spin jump into the upright angle before I touch the ground. And then as soon as I touch the ground, I tap A twice to get a spin jump off the roof. And at GWK here, which is called the glitchy wall kick, it allows Mario to turn the direction he's facing like very swiftly.
Put it together. And
It's a 3-frame input, but if you hit the first frame, he won't go the direction. So it's technically a 2-frame input.
attempt.
And it's a glitchy wall kick. Glitchy wall kicks is the same as SM64 glitchy wall kicks, where if you hit that, well, in the difference between the SM64 and this is that in SM64, I'm pretty sure you have to hit a specific collision on a wall or like a corner of a wall to make Mario glitchy wall kick the way he's facing. But in this game, you can do it manually all the time on any surface and on any wall. So if it can be any wall. As soon as you touch it, you want to press the Y input, which makes Mario Y cam, and then I think on the 2nd frame, you want to jump, which makes him just goes inward like that, and you can hover out of it, which makes Mario just kind of snap the direction he's looking in. That's pretty much. I think that's the first use of it actually in the run. I think so. Yeah. No, we use it in Bianco too. To get up on the wall.
I forgot the split.
There's a lot going on. Like some of this is like kind of just second nature to me, so I sometimes forget to explain it. But there will always be chances where I can. So now this is just Bianco 5. We kind of just do the same movement we did in Bianco 4 to get up here. It's nothing,
Also, even if you do have
nothing too crazy.
But only for
So we use the points up there to wake up Flood.
I don't know.
I think casually they want you to get a point and then Y cam and then shoot him, but we actually just kind of backflip here because it's easier to aim and consistent to hit him with. Because the points, the way Flood works when it shoots something off its nozzle is kind of weird. Sometimes it'll aim upwards without you doing that, and sometimes it'll aim downwards without you actually aiming that way. And that's because it has something to do with the water particles just kind of coming out of Flood's nozzle. It's weird, but this makes it a little consistent. And if you slightly hold R, it makes it way more consistent because you're already spraying. So it's a weird mechanic, but
only for
yeah.
one split. And that split is semi-realistic for me, so that's why I really don't.
So this level, I'm gonna just let it play out because there's really nothing crazy about this level. But so this level, it's just all RNG. Once you wake up Petey, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do that can change his pattern, and he has a lot of patterns. I think in my PB I get second best, so you're about to see the second best pattern. But the most you can lose up to is 1 minute and 4 seconds due to just straight RNG. Nothing you can do about it. It's pretty rare, but rarer than the spider despawning, so it's not likely it'll happen. But yeah. Also, hey Emperor, what's up?
Is that like an instant reset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This level, Bianco Hills in general, is just like a reset world, especially if you're a runner that's up there. It can be very frustrating. So when we actually get a run outside of Bianco or even Pianta Village, which is still pretty early, we're kind of whoever blessed me, thank you. Because it's not often that SMS runners get runs outside of Bianco/Pianta. And yeah, this is the second best pattern. We kind of just do the same things we do in Bianco 1. It's just we just use water to shoot him down. And just kind of, 3 hits and he's out.
How much of a difference is this one compared to the best pattern?
Yeah, that's Bianco 5. It can be very unfair. There are days where he will probably never give you a good pattern, and there are days where he gives you just good patterns every run. You never know. You never know. And I got a 16-14, so that's actually not too bad. My best split for this for Bianco Hills is actually 16-09, which I think I have the second best split for. So or 16-08, one of the two. So yeah, that's pretty good.
I literally have not.
That's pretty good.
Other than Pinna 2 and like some other splits.
Right here we hit a quick like weird angle so we can kind of zoom to Gelato.
Like don't let shit like that like.
The reuse bosses. You know how it goes. We shoot him 3 times. He either dies or has a second phase, and then we just kind of shoot him 3 more times, and they it dies. There's really nothing you're missing out here. We do water slide here to make Mario go zoom forward, so we could be closer to the M. And then so we the travel time to the M is basically non-existent. It's just a little time save. No, you're a legend. Got him. GBS. This is probably my favorite trick to do in a run. It allows GBS Gelato Beach Skip allows you to skip 6 shines. So you could get to Shadow Mario, because the objective of any percent is to get to Shadow Mario and take his shine, so we can unlock Corona, because Corona won't unlock unless you have Shadow Mario's shines, which are all in episode 8. So here, in order to do GBS, there's multiple ways to do GBS. I should say that the way I do it is the second fastest way, or it's not by much. I lose probably 0.5 from the fastest RTA way to do it, but the fastest way to do it, I'd say I'd lose like a second, like a full-on second. But what I do here for the method I do is I put Mario up on a roof. I kind of tiptoe. You know what? I'll let it play in motion.
Okay. Well,
and then I'll go back and play it frame by frame.
I somehow aligned Mario perfectly.
So that's how I do it normally. Mario just get in there, fall in, and grab the shine. All right. So the way I do that is 1, years of practice. That's number 1, and 2, I kind of just put Mario right there, and then I start tiptoeing. And what I'm doing is, I'm actually gonna have to draw for this. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the very bottom of Mario's shadow when I'm tiptoeing like that, because there's a visual cue I have for when the bottom of that shadow actually meets a certain part of a texture, which I'll show when I get there. So roughly, that was quick. Roughly right there, this is the texture I'll look for. When that shadow touches that part of the texture, that's when I start holding down R to set up GBS, because you need to do that to make Mario backflip. So I kind of push forward on my stick, and then I do a little A/B press, which makes Mario backflips first and then throws the coconut. That way it perfectly aligns Mario to just kind of clip in when you're holding forward. And then the moment, not really, you kind of got to delay the R press, but the moment you see Mario clip in, you want to hover so you don't, clip out of being inside of the hut, and just kind of adjust Mario's height and speed so that way he doesn't clip out. And then as soon as you're over the little blender, you just kind of let go of R, and then you get the shine. That's the way I do GBS.
Looks so easy.
I mean, it honestly, I make it look easy, but it's really hard.
Yeah. I feel like this is maybe one of the tougher tricks, to learn.
It is. It's definitely is. I would say this is the second hardest trick to learn in the run.
Okay.
But it's definitely up there. It's not, and there's multiple methods to do it. So, if there's an easy one, there's a hard one. That's definitely one of the hard ones. If anyone's want to learn it, you can join the SMS Discord. They'll teach you.
I feel the pressure.
This is the first shot of Mario we actually get to. Well, that has a shine in it at the very least. I don't know if I get it, so let me see. No. So you can kill him right there, like instantly. As soon as he touches the ground, you can just spam spray him and he just falls right there. But I miss it in my run, so I get like I do the normal strat, which makes him falls down there. So going for it doesn't lose time. You just gotta recognize when you don't get it. And that time is not very long. But yeah, that's the first shot of Mario shine retake.
And they're like,
also wait, shine get. Disrespectful of me. Shine get.
That was me like 2 weeks ago with the stream. Something changed. Like I had some people talk to me.
So here, the strat I'm about to do is called Feck strat. Feck recently found a faster way to get into Pianta Village. Shoutouts to Feck.
People yesterday.
It's really goated movement. It's very new actually. I would say like a year old or something like that. Very nice movement to do. No one ever thought of this honestly. So basically, we use like that invisible wall there to Y turn back onto the wall so we can jump off of the invisible wall so we can actually get enough height to get onto the shine gate. It's pretty cool. And I actually get the ledge grab the strat here. So right here, I buffer a spin jump. I hold up right so I can, get the angle. I jump off, get the momentum. As soon as I touch the wall, I press A and Y at the same time so Mario can Y cam back onto the invisible wall. And then I jump off of it and I aim for the ledge so I can get the ledge grabless strat. And then after that, Mario is able to double jump and you just kind of hover dive in. And it's pretty quick. Pretty quick.
Which I do, but
shout out to Feck.
Take it too serious. And then
the old strat loses like if you were to do normal strat, you lose like I think like 3 or 4 seconds. It's crazy. It's pretty crazy. So here, this is Pianta 1. We essentially this level is actually maybe a little hard to explain. So we get the chomps. The shine objective is to get the chomps and shoot them in the water. But this level has evolved in like a lot of ways throughout the years that I don't even know how to explain it. The way I'm doing it at the very least is I think this is the second fastest strat. Also, before I go on a tangent, the way with the directions the chain chomps go in are random. I think they have four directions that they can go in. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows. I think they have 4 directions that they can actually walk or run in. And I think I got the second best pattern. Also, JP, I'm playing on JP, by the way. JP has the fastest text. Oh, no, JP has the second fastest text, but the fastest slow times on the GameCube versions. The reason that being is because it's either has something to do with like sound. They like did something different when the international version released. They like changed something with sound and or the fruits that are in the plaza. Because in the English version and the PAL version, they added fruits in Delfino Plaza, but the Japanese versions doesn't have that. And that might be the reason why it's a little slower, but it could be other reasons why. Another difference with the JP version is that Mario's hover nozzle is actually pretty strong when you shoot it towards enemies. In the English version, this doesn't work, but if you actually shoot the water, Mario's hover nozzle in particular, not the spray nozzle, the hover nozzle, if you shoot water onto a chain chomp, it'll actually it being on fire will go away instantly. And that does not work on the English version. You could try it out. If you have English version of SMS, even in 3D All-Stars, it doesn't work. They will not be out of... They will still not be on fire. That's pretty much it for this level, though. You kind of just drag them into the water. And I use it there again. Actually, use the little water particle. Even like the tiniest water particle can actually make the chain chomp not be on fire, as you can see by here. Like, watch this. Like, literally only one particle touched it, and it went off. Like, it's not on fire anymore. I don't know what they did in the Japanese version, but hey, it makes the level faster.
enjoy talking to y'all each and
That's so interesting.
time.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
that's I've never played on the Japanese version. I played this game quite a bit casually, but
Yeah.
While I agree with the shutting up
It's
part,
really weird.
thing to hear
Don't know why it's like that. But hey, we use what we got. So here is Petissimo. It's basically an auto scroll level. You just beat to Petissimo to the flag and you get to shine. Us runners, we kind of just mess around here. We either copy his movement or we just kind of go to the flag as fast as possible.
Just
I don't know what I did here, so I'm kind of curious to see what I do.
yeah, I see
But
why.
this level is pretty much just an auto scroller. Okay, I'm just going fast. Wait, maybe not. Yeah, I'm just going fast.
I can definitely see your point of if it's worth it.
It's an auto scroller. If you're like
a few more
quick enough,
and then you're
it's
like,
just an auto
is
scroller
it worth it?
of the game. Like we don't have enough of that, honestly.
Stuff like that.
Panther 3. Okay. I'm pretty sure all of y'all know this. I'm pretty sure as a kid you probably tried to skip this level. So here we actually use damage boosting strats with these wind guppies.
Balls, man.
So right here, I actually this was very bad movement, but I still get it. So the wind guppy hits me onto the fire. So that way I have like enough frames to just like kind of walk, like or spin jump dive, and just get across that easy. It's honestly it's not that hard. Yeah. You just use Mario's iframes just to get across and use the little finicky pole just to get on the mushroom and all that.
You know that's literally the reason.
I guess with this category, there's no reason to blue. Yeah, this is any percent, so there's no need for blue coins. We just kind of get the goal of any percent is to get all of the Shadow Mario shines, episode 7 shines, and that way Corona opens. We even have to do that in 120 shines, get all the Shadow Marios, and then leave and do the rest of the game. Pianta 4, there are 3 different patterns that this chain chomp can go in. Thankfully, bad RNG is not too bad in this level. I think you only lose roughly 2 to 4 seconds depending on what strat you do at the end. But
just gotta know the people around you and stuff support.
I got good RNG. That path right there, the one Mario's looking at, that's the worst possible RNG you can get. The path that he's taking is the best RNG, and the path to the right is the second best, which only loses like 1 or something like that. I forget. But it's not. Thankfully, it doesn't matter that much if you do get better RNG consistently. It's just kind of just small time loss that you could live with. So here we kind of I do a strat. It's a jump strat. We don't let go of it normally. We actually jump and then throw the chain because Mario has less end lag when he does that, and that allows us to like push him further towards the pool. And we go here to make him turn left because the chain chomp turns based on where Mario's at. And the chain chomp will always run away from you. So let's say I didn't go over there, he would have kept going upwards instead of to the left towards the pool. So that's why we put Mario over there, so the chain chomp would turn left.
You have to be your own.
And we get up here, so he goes in, spray him down, and grab the chain, and he goes in. That was pretty janky, so I explained that actually.
That was too early.
So I go here, he turns left. I go up there, he turns right. We spray him down. So he's able to go into the pool. And then the moment you grab the chain here, you want to be holding down, because if you're not holding down, he won't go into the pool. So you're technically naturally holding down here anyway, so it won't matter. I'm holding B so that it'll buffer the grab when I'm near it. So that way I know when Mario's gonna grab it, and that way I just let go of the inputs instantly. And as soon as I do that, I do a spin jump to get close to the chain chomp.
Even if it hurts.
And that's pretty much the whole shine. The other 2 routes are pretty much the same thing. They just require a little more extra movement and maneuver around the chain jump. But that's pretty much it. Try and get.
This might be a silly question, but is that moving next to the chain chomp that's like what's making him turn those corners so that he turns into the pool area?
Yeah.
As you kind of move next to him?
Exactly
So he
that.
turns to move away from Mario?
Yeah, if I was actually any further back, he would have kept going straight.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cheerleader sometimes.
So we actually have to be there in time. He will not turn into the pool if you're not there, like in front of him to stop him. So yeah, anyone who's trying to learn that, be near him.
On something.
Pianta 5. Okay, a very random level. First, I'm going to talk about this bridge slide because honestly, not many SMSers who run this game know this themselves. But I learned recently that the sooner you actually hover slide here, like you really want to actually hover slide as soon as you can, even if it's like somewhat slow speed. Because if you actually do that, Mario will actually always bridge slide here. So if you take a little longer to hover slide there, Mario actually like will not bridge slide there. That's what I learned recently. Because normally what would happen there is that Mario would just kind of get caught and then you will start hovering out of the slide, which is very slow. Here, this is Yoshi skip, by the way. Normally you would have to get Yoshi, come down here, platform your way to the little cheese and then spray it down. But we kind of just align ourselves with this M that's in the tree. If you can't see it, if you can't see the M, I'll draw it. We align ourselves with this M. And what we do is we align Mario with this side of the M and just run off there. Because that's the only spot where Mario can actually clip into for some reason. After that, we grab the ledge, we press B, so he like starts sliding down the wall. And then we like delay our hover press a little bit and we just hold back. And then Mario eventually just goes into the M. Okay, so the secret level. This secret level is random. Yeah, we need more randomness. So what's random about this is just the Piantas. Well, the NPCs in general. NPCs, if there's a walking NPC, it has a timer to stop. And the timer is always random. So it never really kind of... It's not consistent. I actually got really lucky here. Usually he's kind of just zooming through past there, but the reason why he was there is because he stopped very early on, which is what you want. So you can get Ramel early cycle. I actually got, throughout this whole secret level, actually, I got decent NPC patterns. He was walking down, which is what you want.
That scared me.
That Pianta was walking. This is actually a bad Pianta, but I went for it anyways. And the only reason why I got Ramel is because he decided to stop in the middle for like 20 seconds or something.
All of my whole entire life, and I fucked up like 10 different times.
And we kind of just make him throw us backwards. And the way we do that, the way we make him throw us backwards is the moment the text box is away, you kind of have some control over Mario still. So as soon as the text box ends, you want to press the A button and then the Y button. You can time it or mash it. Most SMSers just mash it because the timing that is actually pretty hard. But if you press Y, you don't have to jump, but jumping gives you Mario extra height / distance. So if you just press Y, the Pianta will always throw you the other way and not the way you're supposed to be going.
Good luck. That was
so yeah, that's Ramel. Ramel's roughly saves like, depending on your gold on that split, it saves like 25 to 30 seconds, maybe a little more depending on how good your gold is. So yeah, it's a level that matters and it's random, so that's not really good. That's not a good combination for a level.
You got GPS for the first.
Next up is Pianta 6. Pianta 6
I'm probably gonna be here all
is a very, I would say one of the most movement heavy levels up there, because you have to know like how grounded spam spraying works. And the way it works is essentially you want to press R and A on the same frame. That way Mario doesn't backflip but still spam sprays. Because holding R and pressing A makes Mario backflips. That's the only way Mario can backflip. But if you just do it on the same frame, he doesn't backflip. It doesn't register as a backflip. And that's what we kind of do in this. I'm kind of botching the movement because I think I was nervous after getting Ramel. But yeah. This level is very eye candy when you're doing it correctly, and this is where we're doing grounded spam sprays. Not there. And I think I do another backflip here, but yeah. So on the next Pianta, this one, I press RNA on the same frame here, which allows Mario to spam spray the Pianta, but no backflip. And just, I have full control over Mario in the air instead of being in the backflip animation. I'll do it here again, because we don't need to backflip. And then backflip again.
That's incredible. They like instantly get cleaned.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like spam spraying something in this game is really busted. Because it either instantly cleans or it's like almost cleaned. It's pretty crazy. We use spam spray a lot in this run. Especially me. I'm known for just kind of pressing the RNA button for no reason.
You love to see it. Want to hear my Pianta voice?
So next up, I'm doing a Pianta impression. That's in my PB. Anyway, next is the Pianta Shine of Mario. This one's actually probably I'm really bad at this one. I don't know why, but you did amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. This one's finicky because you can't really see him. So it's kind of hard to time when to do the ground to spam spray, but there's an easy backup if you do like just don't kill him there, which is that. But yeah. I'm glad you guys like my Pianta impression. I never want to do it again. 28 flat, not bad with Ramel. Next up is Honey Skip.
I prefer SMS because of the movement.
The reason why it's called Honey Skip because I'm pretty sure there was a Zelda, an Ocarina of Time player who actually came to this game and just labbed something and found, and I think the name was Honey. I could be wrong. I'm not really well versed on this information, but they found a way to skip the Pinna and tree cutscene by clipping into this building, what I'm currently doing, and just dying on the same frame as I enter the cutscene on some Zelda. That's literally a Zelda trick. Dying on the same frame as I enter the cutscene, it'll just straight up skip the cutscene. So the way I set this up is I have a very hard visual cue. I'm not sure if stream can pick it up, but I'll try to draw it here. So what I do is actually, let me go back so it's more clear. So I tiptoe so where Mario's shadows where it first appears. Once I recognize that it appears, I sidestep by holding the L button, and I try to set up Mario with this is a good spot. I try to set up Mario with this little dot here, right there, a little shadow dot. I try to set his little hover nozzle, like the side of it, at the very side, like the edge of it. Not this part of the hover nozzle I try to set up with. So I kind of messed up doing it. So I went to go try it again.
Bro, what is it? Why?
So like right there. Perfect. I got it there and I was like, all right, I got it. So now you basically need to hover. Once you get into that spot, you basically need to hover for a set amount of time. No one really has a timer in their head. So we just kind of like, because the amount you have to hover is based on Mario's position. So you personally, as the player, you want to find that position that you like the most and just find the timing for that spot. I like being most players go more right than I do, but I like being further left. And the further left you are, the more you actually have to hover. Because the way the cutscene trigger is kind of, I'll draw it. It has nothing to do with what's actually on the game, but the way the cutscene trigger is that it's kind of like a sphere. So it's kind of like that. And Mario is like right here of the sphere. And so the further left you are, the more you want to hover. And the further right you are, the less you want to hover because like the closer you are to the cutscene, as you can tell. And I don't think I hover. In my head, I like hover for like 1.5 seconds or something like that. It's a very hard trick to explain, but that's essentially it. It's very peculiar. I don't think there's any good way to explain it. but that's my understanding of it, and that's how I approach it when I do it in runs.
I love that. I hover for 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's
in my head.
Yeah, like
I feel like that's a good way to summarize what just happened there. Just like you feel it out, but
yeah, it's very strange. So, and what kind of sad is that straight after that, there's the easiest cutscene skip of all time. So before this cutscene trigger, we actually just pause the game and just exit the level as we enter the trigger. And the game is like, what do you just do? And they're like, whatever, we just put you like in here, you know, whatever. That's what you wanted, right? And the reason why we can't do that with Honey Skip is because we do not have the ability to exit level in the hub area. So, that's pretty much it. And it's kind of sad, honestly. It's kind of sad because then Honey Skip would be much faster. Much faster. Mecha. How do I even talk about this? So there's a lot of layers to Mecha. So, like I explained earlier on Bianco 5, the way Flood works when there's something in their nozzle is kind of weird. So when you tap the R button when nothing's on the nozzle, there's just like this little water particle. I'll try to draw it as best of my ability. So this is like Flood's, where he shoots the water, and if you tap R, there's like this little water particle that comes out the very top, alongside with like some water that drips at the bottom, and that kind of affects how things are being shot when something's on like Flood's nozzle. So what we do is we hold R, which makes the first thing come out, like the first little drip of water. But then after that, we continuously hold R, so that way water is just always coming out. Because that way the aim is consistent. You see why the aim is like consistently one direction, but the one strand of water that comes out goes up, as you can see. Like it goes like at this angle, which is not good, because runners used to just shoot the rocket nozzle just by like quickly pressing the R button. Like there was no like slightly holding it. We would just do that, and that would just make that one strand of water shoot out instead of the rest that was like down here. So if you look at my input display at the bottom, you can see what I'm talking about. Actually, you want to be looking at this. Let me get a different color. This is my R button, the thing I circled at the bottom left. That is my R button. And if you look at it before I shoot a rocket, I'll like slightly hold it and then shoot it, because it'll like stabilize the aim. That was a very hard explanation. Once you learn that, you can just kind of do mecha, which is very confusing at first because Mario's going upside down. Everything is constantly changing. So what we do here on the first shot is we call it DM shot. I forgot why it's called that, but I'm pretty sure it's a player who did that shot. So essentially, you want to shoot the rocket as soon as you pass this one, and then spam spray it as soon as you shoot it. So you can grab the rocket you just passed and then shoot the Mecha Bowser again here. So the reason why I'm spraying there is because there's this weird mechanic where Flood's water can actually grab the rockets. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's a thing. Just do Mecha. Yeah, just do it. Flood's water can actually grab rockets. So the reason why I'm spraying there is because I'm trying to grab the rocket that's actually on the very bottom of this railing. Like, as you can tell, I'm like angle it perfectly, and I missed it. But you can grab it, and there's a pretty decent backup here. I'm human. I messed up. Before the cutscene starts, we pause, exit level. Skip the cutscene, grab the shine. We get no exposition from Bowser Jr., but it's fine.
Yesterday, Encore was yesterday.
That was pretty much it. Wait, Shine Get.
Best, like New York Smash venue of all time. Everyone
Shine Get. We can't forget about that. I tried to do an entry there. I messed up. Go back into Pinna. Pinna 2. Pinna 2 is probably the least. It's an auto scroller level, really. But before that, we do mole skip. So what we do is we roll out. So you have to be approaching this mole in the speed run with all the speed you can get from hover sliding here. Because otherwise, he's just going to start shooting bombs way too early, and then you're not going to be able to get in. So we roll out here. We do a quick side flip so we could just kind of get up on his grill and just kind of fall into the tank. That's pretty much it.
It's definitely my favorite. Like,
It's very easy, honestly. You can do it by accident sometimes.
I think
and this is pretty much just an auto scroller.
the people there are also.
What I'm doing looks like it's cool, but like it's not. We wait here for the cycle because we actually can't. Even the task can make this cycle, but it has to wait anyways for the one over there. So it's like even the task is held back by this level. We do a little risky jump there because Mario's able to go that far for some reason. We jump at this angle. We do a buffer spin input. We do a jump dive. We land right as it pops back up, and we just kind of dive, roll out into the shine. And there it is.
You ever had where like you take that jump too early or something?
Yeah.
Or is it just pretty consistent?
Yeah, there are times I try to make sure my movement is, to the beat, like when it pops up. But there are times where I'm slightly too early. But you can back those up by ground pounding, because ground pounding in this game actually like propels Mario up a little bit.
Yeah.
But even then, there are times where I went too early and I've died. Actually got it here. So this entry, I actually started the trend of this entry. So there was a task like sometime like in the past that I watched on my own time, and this task did a very peculiar entry back into the canon. And I was like, whoa, what was that? And so one day I was just kind of mashing inputs, I'm pretty sure, until I got it, or someone like told me the inputs, but they never did it. So then I just kind of started practicing like over and over the input. And what it is, basically, it's a backflip hover cancel. So, so what you're doing is you're holding R. The moment you backflip, you want to press X. So essentially, like on the same frame, and that'll cancel out the backflip with Mario's hover nozzle. And the hover nozzle will pump Mario's it'll like put Mario's backflip at a hole and just kind of plop him into the cannon. And I'm pretty sure I'm the first human to start doing that in the runs. And then ever since then, people kind of started doing it and or not doing it. So here it is in motion. It's pretty cool. It's a hard input. I'm pretty sure it's a 1 frame input or something like that. It's not easy. It's not easy. It actually hurts the hands because you got to press like the R and then like the X button, and like it's ridiculously hard. But Pinner 3, it's another red coin level. There's a lot that goes on in it. Little spin jump here. We pump over there. Y cam here. Jump off that. Grab that coin. And then here it can be a little finicky. You can either 1, clip through the boat, or 2, your spin input just doesn't come out because I think you're too late or too early. But I think I'm perfectly fine here. So I get a little spin input here. A tap hover. Spin up there. Y cam there. I missed the coin a little bit, but it's fine. I backed it up. You're not supposed to grab that great, but I like messed up my movement beforehand. Spin jump here. Grab that coin. Get back up as fast as possible. And then just kick up Mario good. It's just a raw movement. There wasn't anything in peculiar there that I could talk about. It was just kind of like how good Mario's movement is. It's just once you know all the buttons and tricks, you can kind of concoct a very cool movement in this game. That's pretty much it. Next is Pinna 4. Very bad level. I do not like it. I actually despise of it. The reason that being is because these Snoozer Koopas are mean. So one reason why I don't like it is because, like I said earlier in Bianco 3, Flood is also RNG. The way you spam spray is just completely random. Like the particles that come out are just random. They're never consistent. So here, there's actually a chance for you to not spray the far right Koopa or the far left Snooza Koopa, and they'll just not wake up, and it'll just throw off the whole cycle. Same for here. I think I got a decent one. And outside of that, it's pretty much you just kind of you kind of lure them all the way over here and just ground pound them. And I think I got a 1 cycle. Yeah, that was pretty good. They have like a little hidden mechanic that most runners don't know, but when I tell them about it, they're like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool."
I'm waiting for my time to come.
So if you spray a Koopa that's pretty far, because normally Snooza Koopas won't aggro you if you're very far away from them, but if you actually spray them like repeatedly, they'll actually like slowly come towards you, as long as you're spraying them consistently. And you can use that to your advantage as like for a backup.
Luigi Mansion looks hard when you
if you mess up the main strap.
Game is hard when you get to a certain level, but
And now I'm doing 3 right G. There's 2 more levels, this one included, left for Pinna.
Auto scroller esque. At some point it will get like that because there's not.
3 right G has gone through many iterations. We call it 3 right G because the fastest runners will do episode 3 early Yoshi go around, and we just kind of combined the number 3 and early go around together. The version I do is called 3 right G 1 stew because I only use 1 stew to clip in and get into the merry-go-round.
Boring, I guess.
Episode 3.
I respect people who play like.
So I actually got bad RNG here.
Hard to, like actually.
Because the best art, so I think there's 4 fruits you can get. There's banana, which is the best. There's papaya, which is the second best, arguably. And there's pineapple, which is third best, and coconut, which is horrible. You never want that. You never ever want coconut. And what I get coconut. So, and the reason why coconut is bad because you have to go past Yoshi, which is slow. And once you spray it out of the floor, you actually gotta turn around and spray it at Yoshi or pick it up and throw it, which is pretty slow. You only lose like, I think I timed it, you only lose like 3-4 seconds. It's nothing too crazy, but you know, you rather not have to deal with it. So the way this setup works is that you gotta, especially on Japanese is different. English has fruit storage, which allows Yoshi to store fruit while being on him still and while not having the fruit, being ate. But Japanese doesn't have that. Yoshi just eats the fruit, so I can't do that, which makes the RG a little faster for English. Actually, not anymore. I think Japanese is actually faster regardless, I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, I can't do that. So we spray the papaya over there to set it up. We get the durian, the turn purple Yoshi, because the way platform works is based on Yoshi's color. Purple Yoshi, the platform will go horizontal. Pink Yoshi, the platforms will go vertical. And I'm pretty sure orange Yoshi's, the platform just doesn't go anywhere. It's just a platform. And those are the 3 colors of this game. And we only really need purple Yoshi. So we lure at the very least 1 stew over, so we can ground pound into this little thing here, and then lure the stew into the out of bounds area that we're not supposed to be in, and then eventually spray it so that way it'll go horizontal into the merry-go-round, because that merry-go-round is actually the object from Pinna Park inside of the park. It's not like just a dummy prop, like how like most of the geometry is over here, where it's just for show. No, that's the actual object from Pinna Park that they put in here for some reason. But hey, we take those. So here, let me rewind a little bit, so I can explain what actually happened. We take 1 stew. Make a ground pound. We put Yoshi on top of this little thing. I normally put him between these. I have to draw here. I normally put him between this little line here, like on it. Like I'll try to put him, like aim for that. It's very lenient, so you can miss and still get the ground pound. Once you do that, you want to essentially jump and ground pound, literally, like right after jumping. So a frame after jumping, a frame after Mario's off the ground, you want to ground pound. There are other ways to do it, but I prefer that way. And that way, Yoshi like freaks out. He's like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? He clips into the thing. And after that, we actually have to like navigate through because this part is very finicky. If you mess up like one, like you can't mess up because that otherwise you'll just clip out and then you just got to do the whole thing over and it's a mess. So we got to navigate through this. Once we get to that part, like that part of the texture, like I look out for this little brown thing, this brown part of the texture. Once we get there, you actually have to tap upright because otherwise Yoshi will just get stuck and then the stool will ground pound you. And then you're like, dang, I just lost the run essentially. So tap up right, tap up left to go back in because if you tap up right and then keep going forward, Mario would actually down warp and then you'll die and then you will literally lose the run. So we tap up right, go forward, tap up left, go forward more. And then we turn the camera so we can aim the stew towards the merry-go-round, spray him so it'll be a vertical platform or a horizontal platform that goes toward the merry-go-round. We get the papaya that we threw earlier so we can eat it. So that way we can go into the loading zone, the secret area, because orange Yoshi is required for this. If it was just purple Yoshi, we wouldn't need the orange or the papaya at all. But sadly, yeah. Very, very weird setup, but it works. At some point, this is probably one of the I would say top 3 scariest levels, especially if you're not warmed up. So we kind of gotta like put Mario in a way where he can get a spin jump that's like just perfect onto this. And then after this triple jump that we're about to do, we got a Y cam so we can turn Mario like directly left. So we can go barely on top of this. Like you can easily bonk air. We got to barely go on top of that and then roll out, spin jump onto that, which is also scary. And then roll out, do a little limp rollout, which is also scary because you can accidentally do a full rollout, which kills Mario because he's just going to fling off the platform. And then do a buffer spin jump after that and then dive and then roll out onto that block at the very ledge, which is also very scary because you can bonk and die and then you lose your run. And that's not fun. It's a lot of things you got to do in a very short amount of time. But once you practice it a lot, it's not as scary. But honestly, I was very scared during the run. I was like, oh my God, if I lose here, I'm going to be sad. But thankfully I didn't. We do a spin jump off of that, grab the shine, buffer spin jump. I missed because I was nervous, not going to lie, but it happens. And yeah, that was through IG. It was.
Oh, so this run's decent.
Yeah, the run is decent. That was through IG.
Best splits are.
Next is Pin of 7, the Shadow Mario before Rico Harbor. Before we go into Rico Harbor, you just kill him. That's pretty much it. We go up left here. So the reason I go up left and tap hover is to wake up Flood, so he can spray water instantly. And we go up left so we can make the Shadow Mario run right. And that way we can just kind of just spam spray him down, and then he just kind of falls instantly.
That'll be fucking hilarious.
And he dies.
First run I've changed.
That's pretty much it.
I'm good.
He dies. That's the lore. And Shine Get. Yeah, he just dies.
He just dies. That's
he just dies.
Minus 18. I just gotta keep it up.
But yeah, next is Rico Harbor. This is where we can take a break.
Yeah, so we're about the halfway point, chat. We're going to take a quick break here on GDQ Hotfix. We like to encourage stretch breaks and also just a break for our runner here, Reed, who is doing an awesome job explaining everything. Get some water.
I'm very tired.
Yes, definitely encourage y'all at home to get some too. But stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes for more of this awesome Mario Sunshine run.
Yeah.
Hey, all you cool cats and gamers. Welcome back to Victory Lap, the GDQ Hotfix show that showcases new world record and personal best runs and the runners who made them happen. I'm your host, Nuclear, and I've got with me tonight Reed Cutie with his recent personal best run of Super Mario Sunshine, any percent. We just finished up Pinna Park, heading over to Rico Harbor. But before we jump into that, just a quick reminder, chat, that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick, both with hotfix and with AGDQ 2023 costs. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. With that, I'll go ahead and pass things back over to Reed to get us into Rico Harbor.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. So we're going to Rico Harbor. Probably the most, the least RNG heavy world. There's like, the only RNG that's there is Flood and Goop. And that's like the least of like anyone's worries when it comes to playing this game. Because at the very least, Flood loses you like 0.5, maybe a little more depending where you're at. Goop can just be slightly annoying, but honestly, it's completely fine. So I tried to hit a very specific angle there, but it's honestly hard. It allows Mario to double jump off of that little like rim. Like he'll clip through it and get a double jump, but I like somehow landed on top of it, and then I was like, oh. So this is just a backup I came up with, which is fine. I lost like probably like 2 seconds or something, a little less.
I should have decided that before.
There's a strat there you can do with those boxes. It's called triple box jump. But I decided not to go for it because I already messed up beforehand and I didn't want to mess up more. So I was like, I'll just do the normal strat, which is that. But if you're interested in triple box jump, there's probably someone out there who's willing to like show it and not. Because it looks pretty cool, honestly. Cooper blooper. There's crane RNG too, which I think with the new strat it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, there is that. I'll get to that in Rico 3 when we get there. So what we do here is as soon as the cut, like before it even starts fading back in, we hold R and hold forward and turn the camera right. That's like 3 inputs, so you gotta like do 3 things at the right time. So you can aim in the middle of his face. And you don't want to get too close because then the water just won't hit him. You want to make sure you don't get hit also. And then once that once the tentacles hit the ground, you want to jump and then dive and hold back because that's like the most optimal way to do it. And you just want to rinse and repeat that, but this time you're just already close. Once the tentacle hits, jump, dive, and then pull back until the texture I look for. Because people do have audio or visual cues. I have a visual cue, so once the handle of Flood hits that or like passes that, I think I let go, like that little dot on the ground, and I let go of my B button. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And
Let me focus now.
you'll probably get screechless every time because you can let go before the blooper starts screaming for its life, and that's the fastest way to execute that level. Shine
And
good.
it's just more humane.
Yeah. Out there, a blooper screaming. Okay, so this is Rico 2. We do a little dive wide cam ground pound to make Mario face the direction of the tunnel already, so we won't have to walk a few frames. Because that way we can just tap R and press B, and that way we're just already hovering without losing like the 1 or 2 frames Mario has to walk. So that's pretty good thing to know.
For Smash, though.
This part's a little weird, but you got hit like a little angle here, but nothing too hard. Well, I'm lying. It's pretty hard, I'll be honest. So Rico 2, we kind of don't do the level normally because we're speedrunners. So we go on top of the level and just hit the triggers needed to, trigger the checkpoints of the race, there are only 2, technically 3, the last one. So we hit the first one. This is the second one, that little corner there. And the last one is just near the green pipe. 18, pretty bad, but it's not the worst.
What's gamer lean? The
Okay.
stuff.
And that's it. I wish we did the race normally, because honestly the obstacle course is kind of fun, but at the same time you could die doing that, so yeah, it's whatever. No, after this I'm not doing a run. I would love to, but no. Yeah, I'm technically doing both. Anyway, This is Rico 3. This level does have RNG in it, but I'm pretty sure if you do the most up-to-date strat, you don't have to worry about the crane at all. I'm pretty sure. I don't do that strat, so I have to worry about RNG. It's very minuscule. You lose like, I'd say like at best, like from a very good goal, I say like 1 to 2 seconds. But it's nothing crazy. It's kind of like Panther 4, where it's just, you know, you can go on without it, or with or without it. So the speed of that crane, it differs based on nothing. It's just random. But when the level loads, you can actually see how fast the crane is going based on what coin it's on. So I think I got the best RNG. I think it was on the 3rd coin, or bad RNG. I don't remember too much. I'm pretty rusty at this, identifying this, but yeah. Okay, no, I think I got decent RNG. I think you want it to go slow. I could be awfully wrong though. I don't remember too much, I'll be honest.
Okay.
So I apologize for that. But it's random. That's all you need to know. The game doesn't like you. Next is Regal 4, yeah, I forgot. Regal 4 is actually probably my worst secret of like any secret. I just play bad in it at all the time. I don't know if I play it well here, but we're about to see. I did the safe strat because I didn't trust myself. We do okay. This is the first time this is actually, I think, in the run that you do this. So Mario actually has a little move on the ground. We call it Beyblade. But he can actually do a spin on the ground. If you don't jump, if you just rotate your stick and tap R, Mario will actually start spinning on the ground like this. And we can actually use that for slopes, because for slopes, he doesn't start sliding on his butt like instantly because he's spinning. And we can actually use that speed of the speed of slopes like that with the spin and just jump off and just gain like distance and height and speed. It's ridiculous. And we use it for that entry. And Rico 4, the secret itself, you just dive rolling out, really. It looks like, oh, he's just dive rolling out, but no, a speedrunner will try to get dustless. Not me, because I'm just trying to not die in this level, but a good speedrunner will just try to get dustless rollouts as much as possible. Recently, there has been a new strat founded here, which I do like. I've been practicing it. I get it not consistently, but I soon probably will. It makes the level less scary, honestly, in my opinion. But yeah, because there's just a lot of big jumps.
What's the difference with dustless, as someone who's not familiar?
So a rollout, it can either be dustless or have dust. You essentially save like a frame of just Mario not being on the ground, or multiple, depending on how good your timing is. So if Mario, I don't think I ever get one here. Actually, no, I do at the beginning, right there. So essentially, you're just pressing A, the frame Mario touches the ground, and that's fast. But if you see dust, that means you did not press A as soon as you could have possibly have, and just it's like a frame slower or something. I'm not sure if it affects speed. I haven't really looked into that, but it's just, you want to press A as soon as possible, type deal.
Got it.
Yeah. It's not something you really have to worry about in an RTA run, like a full run, but an IL, which is, an individual level for those who don't know. Yeah, you're gonna have to be paying attention to those, because those matter if you're trying to get like a good time in ILs. Yeah. SM64 also has that dustless and dust rollouts. They try to not get dust.
Where I was kind of scared.
Rico 5. This is kind of just Rico 1. Actually, on my splits, I have the first Rico level called Copy, which is the first blooper fight, and then Rico 5, I have it called Paste, because Copy and Paste, because they're just reusing the boss. It's the same thing. You stand close, as soon as it hits the ground, you jump and then dive. You pull it back. The visual cue is different here, because this boss, you actually have to pull back longer. For some reason, I guess it's to make it harder. But yeah, you actually have to pull back longer on this boss. The visual cue here is kind of faint, but I think I aligned Mario's hat with like a certain tech. You can't even see it. So okay, I'll try to draw, but you can't really even see it. So there's actually this little. So there's a line here, and then a line here, and then a line here. I aligned Mario's hat with the middle line, but you really can't see it because of my capture card. So I tried to align it as soon as Mario passes it, and then let go of B. But it's pretty much hard to see on the capture card that I have. Nintendo reusing bosses? No way, I know, right? After that, he dies. The lore, and then that's it. You get the shine. Wait. Shine get. Go back in. We do Rico 6. Rico 6.
20 minutes away.
It's fun, honestly. I actually didn't explain this earlier because, you know, we kind of just skipped the level. But the different colored bloopers actually have different properties. So the green one actually, I think, goes the slowest. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. It goes the slowest, but it has the best control out of any blooper. The yellow blooper is like the overall blooper. It doesn't go too fast, but it doesn't go too slow, and the steering is like kind of whatever. But the pink blooper goes, it's always at top speed. It never slows down, and its steering is awful. It's just bad. You don't ever use it. Even casual play, don't ever use it because it's just literally not ever worth it. So in a speedrun, we just use the green one because it's good. It's a blink. This tricky maneuver here. Got to make sure you don't bonk, because if you bonk, you die. The green. Okay, the fact to mention this also. Another reason to use the green blooper is if you mess up and you're about to hit a wall, if you actually let go of your analog stick / hold neutral and hit the wall, Mario won't die because it's not constantly at top speed. It's just kind of at like a medium speed. Yeah. But the other bloopers, I don't think they have like a hold neutral type state. So if you hold neutral, you will die regardless. So that's another thing the green blooper has. Yeah, what Ian said in chat. It goes slowest if you don't hold forward, which is why it doesn't die. Mario doesn't die when it bonks into a wall. I think all the bloopers share the same top speed. I'm not completely sure. I don't really know too much about the bloopers, but I know that much about them. And we just kind of get the shine. Yeah. One thing I actually want to mention that actually does happen sometimes. So this game doesn't completely run at 30 FPS. It runs at 29.79 frames per second, which means that there is one frame where the game does literally nothing. It just kind of it's just a frame that exists. And on that frame, you cannot press anything. Like if you can press something, but it won't register inside of the game. And those moments can actually get you killed or just ruin movement. It doesn't happen too often since it's a quarter frame, like it's a quarter of a frame, which is very small. And so I've had it happen here where I pressed and held my A button to get the shine, but my jump didn't come out. So I just ran into the wood and died.
Oh
so,
no.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's so
God.
bad. To add on to the
really
randomness.
Bad.
Yeah. It's so bad.
It's not helping that I'm listening.
Thankfully, it's not literally a consistent thing. It's rarer than like PD giving you like bad pattern, which is pretty rare in itself. So it can happen a lot. Rico 7. Shout out Mario. I think I do it in this run. Not many people go for this because it's pretty risky. But this is like my favorite quick kill because it just looks cool. But I messed up. Dang, I messed up. But you can kill him right there and like with the Y cam and just kind of land on top of him. But I got to roll out because I pressed A too soon. But yeah, this is my favorite quick kill. It's pretty cool. That's pretty much it to it. You can back it up. You just got to hold right and just start spam spraying him quickly. Otherwise, he's just going to go up and lose. And then you lose, I think, 14 seconds. And you don't want to lose that. You want to save time, not lose time. Not crazy. It even does this in the 3D All-Star version. It doesn't run at 30. It still runs at 29.97 frames per second. This game genuinely drops your input. Speaking of input, this has nothing to do with what's going on screen. So spin inputs don't work the way you think they work. They work based on your camera angle. So there are specific camera angles that you can get where you can just never get a spin input. Like even if you do it, like the spin input won't come out. And it's kind of weird. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they program spin inputs like that, but it's based on how your camera angle is facing. And there's a level called Pachinko, like the Pachinko slot machine, where there's a spot in it where you always get a spin input where you just hold up and then left, and then Mario would do a spin input without having you to actually spin your control stick. It's so strange.
Huh. That's so strange. Yeah.
It's not normal.
And there's like casually and stuff like you would never know. Like
yeah, never ever. This game was rushed. So here's Bianco 6. We do like a little risky spin input dive into the cube. It's, as you can see, I think I actually got a bad angle here. Very hard input and very nerve-wracking, especially if you're on a good run. But it's not the hardest thing in the world. It's just, you might be like, whoa, I really messed that up. Here we also use a GWKD, glitchy wall kick dive, where I purposely kind of put this camera angle at an angle instead of straight on, because the way GWKDs work is based on Mario's camera. So if your camera's further right and because like Mario would just kind of go the opposite of like where he's facing. So let's say Mario, like I'm gonna draw this on screen real quick. Let's say like you're facing this way, you jump off a wall, like that's this way. Mario will like, I think he will go this direction. It's something you gotta like mess with, but it's, yeah. So that's why I put it at an angle. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, he will go that direction. Literally what I drew, and then we use that to just kind of keep Mario's like movement going.
I could have, but like I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it, man. I rather risk.
The reason I'm kind of, because I didn't go for a strat, because usually you die there if you're slightly behind in the cycle, and I was slightly behind, but I could have still gone for it, but I decided not to because I didn't want to lose a run. So I just kind of stood there. But I definitely could have gone for it watching back.
I could have,
but I'd rather lose like a second than lose my whole entire run. Lose 48 minutes of run. Next up. Oh, also the reason why we split up Bianco in parts, because we're just now getting back to Bianco Hills 48 minutes in. The reason why we split it up into parts is because we're trying to minimize the amount of event cutscenes that play throughout the run.
I'm saving myself,
because event cutscenes will play based on Delfino state / your shine count, and we can like shorten it a little bit in the beginning of the game, but then eventually event cutscenes play anyway. I think after pretty much Pianta or something like that. So yeah, or no, after Pinna. Yeah, after Pinna. Once you get like,
okay.
Once you get Yoshi, yeah. Once you get Yoshi, you can't control it anymore. Which I think is 24 shines. I could be wrong. Or 14.
I wish.
Something like that. So after killing Shadow Mario, we're gonna kill him again because we don't like him. So this Shadow Mario is kind of weird. Sometimes he will go right instead of left when you dive roll out there. I really don't have an idea why, but it's definitely because like his triggers are messed up, so he just kind of picks a direction based on where you're at. That's how like these things work. They go based on where you're at. But if he goes left, we kind of just spray him down, and then we shoot the banana out of the tree. Throw it back. This is actually a pretty decent entry. I think I only lost like point. Like, let me see. Oh no, I completely messed up. You're just gonna triple jump there. But that was a good like Shadow Mario segment. Now we're doing Manta. First, this boss is random, but not random. But it's pretty random. You can control some of it, and by that I mean only the first part of the boss. So the Manta splits into multiple parts. The first big Manta you spray will turn into 2 parts, and the Manta can either 1 go towards your direction and aggro you, or 2 run away from you because randomness. You want it to go towards you so you can like spray it, because the way it's facing kind of dictates where the Manta will spread out and go towards. So what I do here is I spray it so that it'll be stationary there, and then I'll jump over it. I kind of messed up the jump, but it's still fine. It still gets the job done. I got good RNG here, but I got hit, so I was like, dang it, recover it. So they're actually going towards Mario. So as soon as you see that, you want to spray them as much as possible. They're kind of turning around because I got hit, but it's fine. After that, just keep trying to like, when you're watching it seems easy to manage all these mantas that are on screen, but when you're playing and pressing R and A quickly, because you have to manage where all the mantas are going. You have to remember where a stray manta goes. So it's like, I see the one on the top right, I see the one far left. I let one go right or left of me because it's behind me. I know where it's at, but you still got to be wary because the mantas move pretty fast. There's 2 behind me right now. I think that's the one from, yeah. And I think there's still 1 behind me, I'm pretty sure. No, okay, I eventually got it. The thing with this level is that sometimes your random sprays can go behind Mario and they can hit a Manta. So that may happen and you may get lucky from that. But this level is pretty much making sure you get good RNG at the start and then managing the rest from there. Because if you don't, it's just kind of just a random mess that you can't control too often.
That was not good. It's because
that's why I say this. Incredible to me that you can even manage that, because that gets so chaotic very quickly.
Yeah, you have to.
I just got hit.
You basically got to go cross-eyed, honestly, to really like pinpoint every Manta. Because once you let it go out of control, there's no coming back.
Do you feel like that's something easier to do now that you've been doing this for so long, or is it still
for sure
just as difficult?
Yeah, for sure. Since I've been doing it for like 5 years, I'm like, I know what I want to happen when I'm doing this level. Versus when I was playing only for like even 2 years, like I was just kind of like spraying them, hoping they would be in my favor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely got better at it now.
I'm not gonna complain too much.
It's definitely a skill you have to learn when you're doing this level, because no other level requires you to manage what you're spraying and how things are moving. So yeah, it's definitely something you got to build up.
Still PvP though. I just gotta play good, and hopefully, if I get no extras.
And that was pretty much an average split on my splits, so I didn't lose or save time, sort of. So this is time saved for me, my PB. So that's pretty hype. Yeah. We have to, for a game that's just literally like honestly 75% random RNG. You got to control what you can at the most you can. Serena 2, I would say Serena 2 is probably most tech heavy secret level there is. I messed up. Because there's a lot of like GWKs and just like Y turn things you got to do if you're doing like the hardest strats. I didn't do them in this run because it was a good run and I was kind of scared. But yeah, this part is a little scary because you're spin jumping to small blocks, and this part is scary because you're getting a buffered spin input off of a little lip of the peg there, and I mispositioned Mario, so he was sliding down. So I was slightly panicking. I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I didn't want to delay, like I didn't want to be slow because he was sliding, but I also didn't want to, yeah. So I eventually got it anyways. Believe it or not,
Could have gone a little sooner, but
my heart dropped there. I may look calm in the camera, but no, my heart sunk when I did that spin and put because I thought I messed up.
no def means good.
But
I think it's interesting that overall you've been saying that you could feel the nerves a lot sooner than I find other runners feeling the nerves in their PB
Yeah.
runs. And I think that's, you mentioned earlier just how much RNG and stuff and how hard it is to get a run kind of going. So I imagine that kind of impacts that even when you're at like the halfway point, that's a lot of pressure knowing that you have a run going that far.
yeah, it's kind of like it's like the good luck doesn't come too often, especially when it's good luck. We're like, oh my god, we can't mess up now, you know.
Yeah.
And when you do, it's like it feels like everything you work towards just like it didn't matter. Now back to the randomness. It's such a feeling you got to get used to, honestly. So here, it's turn of 3. This trick is called banana split. Very cool, very good name. It's very catchy and it makes sense.
That's
So-
a good name.
It is. So we grab the banana, we go all the way up to the, because originally you're supposed to do this whole puzzle, get Yoshi, get the pineapple, come like go into the vents, you know, vent into the shine sprite. But no, we don't play Among Us here. We just kind of get the banana, split into the thing and just kind of grab the shine and just call it a day. So what you want to do is at the very tippy top of at the very top of his like backflip, like where he like is not ascending anymore, you want to press B and I think hold forwards so that Mario like gets pushed in. Because the way fruits work is if you throw them and then like hold it, like in the opposite direction that I think you threw them or the direction you did throw it in, Mario gets pushed back and then he kind of just clips in because there's like a little space at the top. It's kind of cool. There's other tricks in this game that revolve around that. Yeah, the intended way is about like 15 minutes casually, 16 minutes, or like 6 minutes if like you're doing it in a speedrun. Probably, I don't know. It's a very long level, like with no glitches. Serena 4, Casino. We kind of skipped the gambling part, and by kind of I mean we just entirely just go over the gambling because we don't gamble. Even though we're playing a game that just has like a lot of RNG in it, and yeah, same movement. Go to the
not my fault.
Pianta. We use this part of this little fountain to spin jump up, and grab this floor that's up here for some reason. We sidestep because we can't in this state because there's collision up there, and Mario can't move when he's inside of certain collision, but he can sidestep in them for some reason. So we do that to get closer to the little area above, and then we hold a specific angle, and then we jump and then dive into the pipe. Hole in one, yeah. And we get a hole in one. If you sidestep too far to the left, you actually will down warp and die. So be careful of that. Straightforward secret. We're doing spin jumps, dives. Here I'll do a little butt slide strat. Some runners don't go for this because it's actually pretty weird how butt slides work. I'll explain it a little bit. So we get that there. I don't know if I went for it in this run because I was nervous. Yeah, I bonked. So I definitely don't think I went for it. Yeah, I didn't go for it. But the way butt slides work is if the slope is steep enough and you do a spin input the moment Mario hits the slope and mash A at a specific time, he will literally go flying across the stage and just like get the shine. It's pretty insane. I didn't do it in my run because I was trying to like manage my nerves and like the time saves and time loss I was already having. I bonked there. Exactly. I bonked there.
My momentum is
So I was just like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Like commit to something that like is based on like momentum, like not like in game, but like
King Boo. King Boo is random, but you can control some portion of it. Sort of. So
That didn't
basically,
sound very confident.
because it's not very likely King Wu can just completely mess you up, but it can still happen. And even if you do can like control it, he can be like, nah, I'm good. But you're pretty much guaranteed a fruit cycle, which is what you need at some point. So here I think this is fruit because there's a. Okay, I lied. There's a visual that if you land on the green question mark, like right there. Oh yeah, I confused the two. If the green question mark is in the middle of the slot, like the middle slot machine, it's pretty much a fruit cycle. And I think I get that here. Yeah. So that's why I say it's sort of, because you know when it's coming, and you know when it's not coming. But it's not always true. Even if the green question mark is there, he can still give you an extra.
I already don't want to do this.
So we need to do that 3 times. An extra equates to 7 seconds being lost, roughly. So I already lost 7. This is intended, an intended cycle. You need at least 1 cycle to get a fruit cycle. And the reason why I go under him, by the way, is to cancel the cycle a little faster. So as soon as he spits out his little enemies or whatever he spits out, you want to, the frame they come out essentially is you want to go under him so they just cancel immediately. And that way you don't have to do his little mini games that he does when he spits out whatever he decides to spits out. This might be an extra. No, okay, only 1 extra so far. So only lost 7 seconds. And the way the fruit spits out also is just completely random. They're not in a consistent manner at all. The fastest fruit to shoot at him is the durian, but sometimes they're just not in convenient spots for you to do that and will end up being slower anyway. Right here, I'm trying to line up, trying to cancel the cycle. You really don't have to cancel the bubble cycles because he actually goes down himself pretty fast, but you can still do it if you want.
Okay.
And I only got 1 extra, so that's only 7 seconds. 1 extra with bad gameplay, to be fair, so I lost like 10 or something. Also, this is a perfect durian spot. Oh no, I actually got, oh my god.
No.
That's messed up. Okay, no, dude, that's actually pretty sad. So what happened there is I hit the durian. So if I threw the pepper from here, it wasn't gonna hit him. It was gonna go under him. So I had to go a little closer. But I didn't want to go behind. I didn't want to go in front of the durian. So I tried to like throw it and then hit the durian as I threw it. But I messed up and did it at the same time, and the pepper hit the durian, so it just kind of ricocheted off of the durian.
God.
Yeah, it's pretty tragic. So that made me lose a little more. Also, the way durians work is because the reason I did that, the reason why that kind of happened, or the reason why I had to throw it sooner, is because when you kick a durian and you press any button, your button will not register because there's like massive hit stun when you kick a durian. So I had to either press it before I kicked it or after, and I decided after because I wasn't close enough, and it kind of just
No more RNG though. So this.
But at this point, there's no more major RNG. I lost 14 seconds. That's crazy.
But it's most
14 seconds equate to 2 extras, and I only got 1 extra. So that was just bad gameplay and that 1 extra.
And this
But no more RNG from here, sort of.
But you know what? If I get a PB, that's all.
Turn to 6. I will honestly, I said no more RNG, but honestly, I kind of sort of call this RNG level. It's completely your control though. And the reason why I call it somewhat RNG is because the Japanese version of this level is actually harder than the English version. Because the English version, I think you only have to clean up like a lower percentage than the Japanese version. The Japanese version has a higher percentage. And I don't know the percentage number, but it's just a little higher and it makes the level not complete sooner. That in combination with I think just the Japanese version, I'm pretty sure it's just the Japanese version. The Japanese version has invisible goop, we so call it. because I think Goop has 2 layers. It has like the actual material that affects Mario or hurts Mario, and then there's like the layer that is just what cleans it up. And sometimes it doesn't get cleaned up, so sometimes it's just there, and you can't see it. It's invisible, even though like the visual part of the Goop is not there anymore. So we tried to like be on the Japanese version. We tried to be like very thorough. I was kind of choking here, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go as fast as possible because I messed up. This level is actually pretty hard. The world record for it is like I think 230 or something, or probably better than that, or 229 or maybe. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. The game is not treating me well, it seems. Oh no, I actually got lucky here. Usually my average time personally is 220, 222, so I was like kind of whatever when that happened. But my fastest is like 2:6 or something, 2:27. But we take those, whatever. I personally do not like that level because there's a lot of things that can go on and go wrong, and the things that go wrong in that level you literally cannot see. So, yay!
And that's only in the Japanese version.
Only in the Japanese version, yeah. English does have invisible Goop, but they did a better job at making sure that doesn't happen. So it's less likely that'll happen on that version. So yeah, Japanese version of SMS is probably the hardest version to play on, in terms of just like
all I'm saying is
getting through any level.
Controller, I literally got that was good.
Yeah, we just kind of killed them again.
That's the lore.
That's the lore. We just gotta kill them again.
Immediate. It was literally immediate.
So next is Noki Bay, the last world. So we're getting there. Do this cool movement that I honestly really like. I think I messed up. Yeah, I messed up. Whatever. It's still cool. Noki 1 though is cool. It's the coolest level. This is actually my warm-up level when I start any grind session of SMS. What about the easiest one? Like the easiest version? Probably PAL, because it has like everything. Okay. I'm kind of just moving. I messed up. Yeah, I don't know this. I just moved on the level, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like like it's just talented movement.
That's the lore.
That's the lore. Mario just kind of zoomed through.
Yeah.
So there are some parts I did go slow here, but I was purposely not, because I can get a frame 1 jump off of right here. I can get a frame 1 jump, but I was purposely trying not to get it because I get a little nervous when I play too good. So I like try to slow it down. And I just used it to correct my angle instead. Right here. Normally we actually don't do a dive rollout here. We do like another spin jump, I think. I think it's normal strat. But recently I learned this strat that you can actually dive roll out off of the slope, and then Mario would just get like a lot of momentum going upwards. Then you pump hover here, and then you do another quick spin input, and then you try. This wall jump here is very tricky, the wall that Mario's on, because if you're too low, you can't wall jump, even though if he like still wall slides. Because this game tried to patch out firsties, first frame wall jumps, frame 1 wall jumps. You can still get them, but they won't. You either 1, if you're too low on the wall, you won't get a wall jump, and 2, you won't get the full speed from a wall jump. So they try to patch it out, but it still can sort of kind of work. It's weird. I'm kind of just moving, grab the ledge, try to get the goop off as fast as possible because you don't want any goomies. Spray this bomb. As soon as this bomb lands and turns around exactly, like as soon as it faces Mario, you want to throw the bomb currently in your hand, and you want to do that 3 more times. So as soon as it faced me, I threw it, I grabbed it, and then just throw it instantly, in fact, and then you beat Monty Mole. It's the last time we see him, so he actually dies. That's the lore. Shine comes out. We save the day. This shine grab is pretty tricky because We have visual cues for Shine, and I would say this one is kind of the hardest one ish. It's a pretty weird timing.
I think a second to that, but other than that, that was. Really
Also, I would like to say that speedrunners have a lot of visual cues for everything. As viewers may not know because they're literally not playing the game, but we use a lot of visual cues for everything, for even like the smallest thing to get like optimal. Because
Yeah, I think that's been like one of the coolest things about you explaining this is you've been doing a great job like pointing out visual cues that you use that we would never know that you even are looking at a visual cue at that moment.
yeah, that's why I like explaining stuff the way I do, because like I think the best way to learn, in my personal opinion, is through visual cues, because anyone that's looking at something can just be like, oh yeah, I can use that also because I can also see it, instead of just like being, oh yeah, just feel it out, because just feeling it out takes like like a lot of time and commitment to something. So just pointing out like like a dot on the ground could probably help. Anyways, this is Noki 2. We grab that spring because when you spray the spring, it shrinks, and when you put down the spring at any point in time, it enlarges. So we use that. We abuse that by putting Mario in this corner, and once he starts running like that, you essentially just want to press B. So Mario throws it, he puts it down, and the spring like grows big, and then he just clips through because the spring pushed him in, and that makes us just skip the blooper fight. Yeah, because we don't have to do it. You still do backflip? Yeah, I still do it because I'm the master at backflip GBS. That's why.
I love those ledges. Yeah, I'm grabbing unnecessary.
Noki 3. This is.
Also,
I may have said Rico 4 is my worst level, but this might be my worst level.
I would always do it perfectly.
It's just a weird gameplay change that they decided to put in the game. But yeah, whatever. It's kind of just weird, clunky movement that you honestly get used to by just playing the game or practicing this level and over. There's really nothing much to say about it other than just try to follow the line of the red coins, avoid the cheeps as much as possible, and use Y cam to turn Mario, because that's the fastest way to turn Mario around this level without having to, yeah. Also, if you Y cam, go in first person mode and look down, you actually propel Mario much faster than normal. So you could use that to your advantage if you want to go faster. That's what I do here to grab the shine. Shine get. All right, next is Eel. Oh, not Eel. Next is, what is next? Oh, I missed the split. Next is Eel. I just forgot the split, I think. Oh no, I didn't. Next we go into a boss fight, which is pretty unique. So, it's not a reused boss, so I took off my headphones and my cam because I actually need to hear the eel. Like, if you notice how quickly I took it off, because I was like, oh my god, wait, I'm doing eel. I think hearing this boss is probably for the best, because you can hear when they're about to close its mouth. And I'm spraying down because you'll like advance like probably like a frame or two downwards if you're spraying perfectly. It's kind of useless, but if you want to save that one extra frame, you can. We purposely hit that bubble so we can get HP back. So there's a visual cue here because you don't want to just start doing the boss. So for those who don't know, this eel has two sides to it. It has the literal female and male side to it, as you can look by by its facial expressions and eyebrows. So we first want to start from the male side of the eel, to clean its teeth off. You want to try to clean both, but once you go into Y cam and start spraying it down, you want to start from the male side of the eel and clean its teeth, and then go onto the female side. Bam, bam. Clean those two off. Clean the buck teeth off, and then clean the gold tooth that the female has. Clean it. Go back to the male side. Clean that. Clean the chip tooth. purposely go low so that the eel closes its mouth. Because once you clean the chip or the gold tooth off, the eel will be like, nah, I'm closing my mouth. It will always do that. So, or never not gonna. They're gonna start spinning, not close its mouth. And spinning is slow. So what we do to cancel the spin is we go deep inside the eel, which activates it to close its mouth, which cancels the spin. So we use that in our advantage to close it, so we can start cleaning the teeth again. So we clean off that. We purposely close it again, and then we clean off this tooth that we purposely get hit by, so that way we can skip a cutscene that plays. And for some reason, when Mario has iframes, I think in a cutscene, he kind of just skips it for some reason. Like he's not in the cutscene. I guess because it's iframes, he's invulnerable. I don't know why that works, but it works the way it does. We kind of sort of call it travel skip, but cutscene skip is more. It's kind of just both, really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me go back because there's some things that I want to touch up on. So I didn't really explain this part, but you want to start hovering when they start ascending upwards, so you can clean both of the buck teeth there, and just advance forward. The aiming is a little weird because Flood's water actually kind of trails behind slowly, so I'll start looking away when it's not even clean, because that's the fastest way to do it, because you'll save because the water trails behind slowly, so you can take advantage of that by just saving that small increment of time. I don't really do it here because I was trying to be consistent, because I can get 6 teeth without having to do that, because I'm just kind of quick. But that's the other details I wanted to talk about.
Touch the flag.
I never realized till tonight that the eel had the 2 different sides.
Oh yeah. Not many people notice that. I use that as my visual, and they're like, "Whoa, Reed, how did you know that?" I'm like, "I don't know, I just looked."
I love that.
Yeah. Also, auto scroller again. Not really much. You just kind of beat him. He gets there at 20, 30 something seconds. He's pretty slow, honestly. He's pretty slow in this one.
He's doing his best.
He is. I respect it. So here we actually, so this, I'm gonna have to draw here. So I use this little thing here on the wall. I spray it because you have to be facing that way to correct Mario towards the shine. Because the wide-cam kind of stores Mario's direction when he's entering a cutscene or anything, something like that. So I sprayed this little dot on the wall. So, because it's just a consistent visual cue that I have. And that way, when the cutscene ends, when I'm done talking to Petissimo, he's facing the way of the shine. Because he's trying to turn back to the dot on the wall, but this cutscene interrupts Mario turning back, so it cancels the wide cam, and so now we're just facing that direction.
I am all of it.
Pretty cool trick out there. Noki 6. Scary level, honestly. Very scary, because it's a lot of movement, and it's a very long level, and it's at the end of the run. So it's just kind of okay, you got to nail this, because if you don't, you're either losing 20 seconds or your whole run. So you pretty much just got to do this one shot. I think I do this level pretty much the way I would normally do. And I backflip dive because I was too scared to do buffer strat. Dive rollout. I have to make sure I'm going not too fast, but fast enough, because if I go too fast here, I will actually clip through this upcoming block that I'll spin jump through. If I go too fast here, I'll actually clip through that, but I slow down a bit at the end. All right, fix that angle. Dive roll out there. That was a little slow, but it's fine. I purposely didn't go for Galapagos there because I was nervous. But so basically at that part, we called the strat Galapagos. I think there was a player named that or something like that. I forgot. So basically, you would side flip dive here, and instead of going the direction I'm a draw. Instead of going the direction I'm currently going, we would go this direction and land on that slope right there, and we would land there. But I was like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to lose a run. So I just decided not to do it. Yeah, let me do that. And yeah, that was pretty much the whole level. Speedrunner worried about going fat because I didn't want to lose my run. I haven't gotten a run like this in like forever.
Because yeah,
like I was on 114. By the way, this end time that I got, it was 6th place. So I didn't want to lose that like achieve or like, you know, that possibility of getting that. So I was very nervous because at the time I was like 12th or something. So this was a big deal for me.
Oh, that was a big jump. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big jump for me. And I tried to get a quick kill there. You can kill him like right at that spot because that's the lore, but I didn't get it. So I kind of went on a different path.
really good.
And that was the last shot of Mario. Now we're just literally going on to Corona, the last level. I kid you not, I was sweating. I was talking to myself in my head. I literally haven't been there like in this at Corona in so long. So this part was like very emotional for me. I was like walking around my room trying to calm down because I really just didn't want to lose this. I needed this because I knew I wasn't gonna get this for a good while if I choked this because I know how RNG works in this game. So we jump dive here. Nobody needs umbrellas. Dang. I think I messed up movement here, but it's fine. We still got in. Base boost. So at the beginning of this level, actually, I don't think anyone have noticed, but we actually spray a little water to get the little torch thing, fire in front of us, gone. So it'll, you know, just not be there. So we spray a little water there. I spam spray for extra protection because I don't trust this game. And then we do a ground spam spray spin jump there, which is pretty hard, honestly. Then we do spam spray dives, which is also pretty hard because you're pressing X, R, B, A at this. Like it's just a lot of inputs at once, which is really like taxing on the hands, and you really have to be prepared for it / practiced on it. So speedboat. A lot of people don't know how to do speedboat, but essentially you want to start from the left side. Like you want Mario to start spraying from the left side from our perspective, not Mario's, just to keep it consistent. So you start from left and then you just start kind of moving back and forth. So like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know, it's like you got to see where the boat's going and then like just kind of adjust like back and forth. And then rocket storage. So the way rocket storage works is pretty strange. It's the way Mario's. It's not just rocket storage. It's just kind of how Mario stores momentum. So if Mario lands in an idle position when he like ascends in some way, or when he's supposed to ascend, that'll just kind of store in his like vertical speed. And so we do that twice. Like when he's doing his little idle animation. And then we kind of sidestep off of the ledge because sidestepping for some reason doesn't reset the vertical speed, but walking does, which is pretty strange. Sidestepping is pretty strange. It has strange properties. It can ignore like certain collision. It keeps the stored like speed. Sidestepping is weird. No one knows why it does what it does, but it does it. And now for the easiest, hardest boss probably in the game, and I only say that because you can just die if you're unlucky. Like literally just that's it. That's the outcome. I think I did goop once, but I was thankful that I didn't die here. But this boss is pretty straightforward though. You just kind of rocket up and ground pound on the little icon, the rocket icons there. We tried to hit the very edges of them because that's the, you know, soonest Mario can ground pound. I missed that because this one's actually different in comparison to the other ones. I knew that. I just thought I was fine. You got to go a little inwards on that one. It's pretty strange. This one, you always get stuck there.
Whatever.
I wasn't expecting it, but it didn't matter to me because I got a 114.10 being retimed also. So I was pretty hyped about that. So I didn't really care. So yeah. I'm gonna mute it because I go on a little tangent.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that's super hype.
It was.
You got that, yeah.
Yeah. I beat a lot of people with this time. I beat Ouija, Trey, SB. I beat a ton of people with this time. So I was very happy, very emotional because it was gonna happen eventually. So big GGs on that. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole run. It's very input sensitive, very knowledge heavy, and very RNG heavy. So this game requires you to, especially if you're going to be playing at top level, this game requires you to be playing at that level literally at all times if you're trying to get a good time. If not, then the game's just going to be like, you loser, and just laugh at you. So you got to make sure, if you're coming into this, you got to make sure you're coming into it headstrong, because this game also requires a good mentality. If you have a bad mental playing this game, I promise you that session of that day is not going to go well. You really have to be like, all right, it's fine. I can make this mistake. Or you know what? There's other runs. I can do other runs. And you have to keep that drilled in your head.
Well, Reed, thank you so much for coming on and breaking down this whole run for us. This was really informative. Super appreciate it. You were awesome. Just want to give you an opportunity real quick to let folk know if they were to follow your channel, what they could expect to see and where to find you and all those good things. So
recently, I haven't been streaming as much due to me working on a project I've been working on. If you guys know what Paper Mario is, I've been working on Paper Mario Hero Mode. That's been taking up most of my time. But once I get that finished, once I get that demo finished and released, I'm actually going to be coming back to SMS speedrunning and trying to improve my 114.10. But for the meantime, I'm just going to be working on that and trying to get that out there. So yeah, if you want to know all about that, you can follow my Twitch is Reed_QT. My Twitter handle is Reed_QT. And if you want to find my YouTube channel, I think you can search up Reed_QT and that'll pop up too. So yeah, there's that. That's pretty much everything I got.
Yeah, well, that's real cool. Yeah, I didn't know about Paper Mario stuff. That's really awesome. I'll have to follow you for that and see what's going on with that. Thank you again, Reed, so much.
No problem.
You were awesome. Chat, that is the end of Hotfix for tonight, but make sure to tune in tomorrow for Challenger Approaching, followed by Legally Cute, all starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, stick around. We will be raiding somebody at the end of the stream, so make sure to stick around and join that raid with us. Everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.